Mike, I want to ask you about checkpoints here in Nevada and in Las Vegas specifically. And when we see these a lot, especially on the weekends, holidays, special events, let's say I've had a few drinks and I happen to drive up to what appears to be a checkpoint. I'm nervous. I don't want to go through there. I don't want to face these cops. Can I turn around and go the other direction at that point?
Actually, under Nevada law, if you can maneuver to avoid a checkpoint as long as you don't do something illegal in the process. So if there's an opportunity to make a turn before you see the checkpoint, there's nothing illegal about making that turn. However, you've got to be careful because obviously if you commit a moving violation to avoid a checkpoint, you're going to draw the attention of law enforcement. And for the most part, they have mobile vehicles ready to go. They're looking for people that are being evasive, and if they see you commit a moving violation, they'll pull you over.
So if I'm able to sort of make a legal U-turn or make a turn or pull into a driveway and make a three-point turn, somehow maneuver away from it without committing a violation, can the cops pull me over for suspicion of evading a checkpoint? Is that proper?
Well, it's not proper. And of course, as your defense attorney, I would make a motion to suppress the stop based on the fact that it was an unlawful arrest, if in fact my client did not commit any type of moving violation. However, you're always taking a risk because ultimately it's the officer's word against yours, and they are definitely looking for people that are going to do evasive things. I would say that if you're determined to avoid a checkpoint and you're certain that you can do so in a lawful manner, that there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Let's say I can't legally avoid it. There's nothing I can do. I'm sort of, I don't have any way to maneuver out. So I reach a checkpoint and this officer's at my window. I've been drinking. Maybe I had 4 or 5 martinis. I think I'm a little tipsy. What advice would you give me? What should I do at that point?
Well, I think what you should do is you should be careful, be respectful of the officers, be responsive to whatever questions they have, and be prepared to answer questions like, where are you coming from? What have you been doing? How much have you had to drink?
Should I answer those questions, or what should I say?
You should answer the questions, because if you don't answer the questions, you're probably going to get sent to the secondary area where they start to make a further inquiry. And ultimately, if you find yourself in a compromised position, you do your best to keep your faculties in order. And the simple fact is that most people will actually make it through a checkpoint. But if you're severely intoxicated, certainly you're at risk.
You've defended a lot of people who were arrested as part of checkpoints. Do those tend to be easier cases to defend? Are those harder cases to defend?
Well, a lot's going to depend on traditional DUI factors, like how did the driver perform on the field sobriety tests? How high was their blood alcohol content? I think to the extent that often the nature of the driving plays a substantial role in how the prosecutor may evaluate the case, that one of the unique things about a checkpoint case is you don't necessarily have bad driving to go along with the reason for the stop. Mm-hmm. So to that extent, sometimes a prosecutor may be more liberal about negotiating a resolution or a favorable resolution because you don't have factors such as, for example, really high speed, which can offend a prosecutor when people are intoxicated, driving really fast, or weaving in and out of lanes. So those factors aren't present in a checkpoint case, and sometimes can be used effectively to negotiate a better resolution for your client. I'm attorney Michael Becker with the Las Vegas Defense Group. If you or a loved one has been charged with a criminal offense in Las Vegas or throughout the state of Nevada, trust in me and my legal team to get your case dismissed or otherwise negotiate a resolution that causes minimal harm to you in your future.